3906.
With the power of Tandem HR, you are in the fast lane on Main Street with Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs. Now, the champion of networking, the advocate of jobs, the guru of business, your host, Shalom Klein.
We are all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship and business. We talk a lot about business here. You are on with Get Down to Business, and I'm your host, Shalom Klein. Remember, you can always download podcasts from Get Down to Business on my website at shalomklein.com. And while you are there, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Shalom Klein. It's going to be a jam-packed week of content and information you won't want to miss. It's a live show. You could call us at 312-642-5600, 312-642-5600. Get Down to Business is powered by our good friends at Tandem HR, your solution center. You can find them online at tandemhr.com or give them a call, 630-928-0510. As I mentioned, jam-packed lineup of guests, some fantastic guests this week. Actually, we have a number of fantastic women making a difference in the community, all lined up to share their advice, tips, and resources with you. And the first up here with me in studio is the brand new executive director of NAWBO Chicago. Wendy, thank you so much for joining us here in studio.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Absolutely.
So you have a Thrive event, or an opportunity for women to thrive. I'll let you explain, but I'm so happy you're here to explain a little bit about the event. But also to talk to us about the fantastic goings-on at NAWBO, an organization that we've spoken about so many times on this show. So why don't we start with the event? Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, it's Thrive. It's our annual conference coming up. It's on September 26th. It's on a Monday. And what we've done this year, we're bringing some of the most recognizable women in Chicago to speak on a variety of topics that are relevant to any kind of business owner. So we have Jan Fields, who's a former CEO of McDonald's USA. We have Sima Dahl, who's a very well-known author and speaker. We have Amanda Lannert, who is the CEO of the Jelly Vision Lab. And we also have Suzanne Munchin, who is a well-known speaker as well. And there's a few other speakers that we're lining up. And the goal of the day is to have a series of these keynote topics, kind of the format of a TED Talk. So very vibrant women, talking about different issues like strategy, how do you grow and deal with job, managing growth within an organization, and keeping culture, and a lot of topics that are relevant to any kind of business that you're in, and really women that have been through a lot. So it's not just, here's all the great things I've done, but it's really, this is what I faced, these are the struggles I've had, this is how we've succeeded. And so it's not just all, making it look easy. These women have been through it all. They've been in the trenches and they've gotten it done. And so let's learn from each other. And they're all about supporting each other. So Jan, I've known for a number of years. And, when I called her, she's like, absolutely, I'm ready. I love to support women. Obviously she was, McDonald's is not a women's small business, but she's been through it all. And she's a great motivational, very real, she's going to be direct and down to earth. And
all the women that you mentioned, they're all those are recognizable names, mm-hmm. And exactly as you said, they've all been through the trenches. And what I find interesting about all of the people you just mentioned is that they all bring a unique skill set to the table, and every small business owner, man or woman, knows that being in business is not always fun and games. It's great to be a small business owner, and it's great to be able to have the ups, but together with the ups come the downs as well. And I know many of the people that you just mentioned, they have gone through those challenges, and it sounds like they're going to be sharing their experiences, some of which will be relevant to some people at NAWBO Chicago's annual Thrive event, but some that maybe won't be as relevant. But it sounds like together with all of the education that you offer throughout the year, this is sort of all packed into one day, an opportunity that people absolutely should not miss.
Exactly. I mean, with small business owners, they've got a passion for whatever industry that they're in, but that doesn't necessarily mean they have the skills in every single area. I mean, nobody does, and so it takes education and networking and communication and talking with each other to help learn from that. And so the goal is to provide that education and Thrive. We'll have 300 400 women, it generally sells out. And so it's kind of one of our ways to get a massive amount of information out there. But we obviously have, educational events nonstop throughout the year that we're, trying to work in smaller settings to really engage and provide opportunities for our members, whether in the city or throughout Chicagoland, because we do encapsulate Chicagoland, which is a pretty large region.
That's great. And NAWBO Chicago has been around for how long now?
Since 1978. So NAWBO National, we just celebrated our 40th anniversary, so we'll be coming up to our own 40th pretty soon too.
That's fantastic. And I know you have a number of women that have really taken the reins and really developed the organization into what it is today. But you are actually the first full-time executive director of the organization, I understand.
I am. They've outsourced that role to management companies, and that's been, coming on very well. But we kind of had that tipping point of growth where they were able to bring somebody on internally. And, my background, more or less in the last 20 years, has been in the nonprofit sector, and it's something I'm very passionate about. And I love working with boards. I love developing a strategy. I can, handle the finances, but it's all the nonprofits I've run all have, it's a similar function: training programs, education programs, advocacy, membership base, and making sure we're, providing the right resources and staying true to our mission. And for me, running a nonprofit is very much like running a business. We need to have measurable results. It's not necessarily about the bottom line and dollars coming in, but it's how many members are we serving, how many people are coming to our events, how many members are coming back to NAWBO. So it's all that that I've done in past jobs that I'm bringing to NAWBO. And this board, I've worked with several different boards. They're very much engaged, and they're a very passionate, very dynamic group. And it's been great to work with them the 2 months that I've been here.
Well, that was going to be my question. I'm curious. You've worked with a lot of different organizations, a lot of different businesses. And what's unique about NAWBO? Obviously, it sounds like it's the people, and there's energy and enthusiasm, and anybody who has ever been to a NAWBO event has seen it. When you see the rah-rah and the cheering and the excitement and the camaraderie between these women in business, it's fantastic. So what are some of the goals for the upcoming year beyond the success of the Thrive event that I know it probably will sell out? So certainly we'll make sure before the end of this segment to make sure to share information on how people can register. But what else can the Chicagoland business community, men and women, look forward to seeing coming out of NAWBO over the coming year?
Sure, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Obviously, we're an association of women business owners, but we are all inclusive. We do have, a gentleman on it that's also serves on our board, but these events are open to men and women because obviously the topics are relevant to both. But for the upcoming year, the board really took a lot of time over the last few months, even before I started, to be very strategic on how we're going to roll out what is our current 2017 fiscal year, which we now with our region being so large, we've divided it into 5 regions where we have key regional leaders that really are our point of contact. So we are ensuring we're serving our members. And within each region, we're going to be having 6 events per region. So that's 30 events in addition to our Thrive Conference. And we have an annual achievement luncheon in the spring where we recognize, the top women in business in Chicago. And within these regional events, 4 of them will be educational in nature. So there'll be various topics that women can attend within the region to really provide closer access for our members, whether in the city or in the suburbs. So for example, in our August, they're called our Connects. So in August Connects, one of our great partners is Goldman Sachs. They have their 10,000 small business campaign where they're trying to get 10,000 small business through this fantastic curriculum, which is a free curriculum. You have to apply and qualify, but it's several months long, and it's proven to really help grow sales and really strengthen the business for those who go through it. So for August, we're having actual content, and some of the teachers come in and provide kind of a brief, snapshot of what this curriculum will be like, plus one of our contacts to really talk about the program, to really educate our members why it's beneficial to go through. And again, it's a free program. It's fantastic.
That's
so
fantastic.
We're really trying to get women to sit in and listen to this.
Well, lots of great resources out of NAWBO Chicago, and Wendy, you're doing a fantastic job at spreading the word and getting new people involved, but also harnessing that enthusiasm from the many women involved in NAWBO Chicago, the National Association of Women Business Owners. So, Wendy, you provided a lot of information about a lot of programs, but specifically about the Thrive Conference, which is coming up. How can people learn more about everything that's coming up and register?
Sure. We always keep our website up to date. So it's NAWBO.org. It's NAWBO.org/Chicago. That'll take you right to our main page. And you can see under our events, all the different events coming up, whether it's our Connects meeting or our big conferences. We also post all of that on our Facebook page. So you can just, search NAWBO Chicago, and that'll drive you there. And we're really, posting more social media as well.
Fantastic. Well, we appreciate you coming on to the program, and we'll be sure to continue to plug the Thrive Conference, great resource for women in business. Speaking of women in business, I've got my friend Susan Kaplan joining me on the air coming up right after the break. She's going to be telling us a little bit about how to tell your story, something, Wendy, that I know all the women at the Thrive Conference, all the speakers do a great job of. Don't touch that dial, Chicago. You're listening to Get Down to Business.